Hey, Maruta, can you hear me well? Let's see what we're doing here. If you can hear me, let me know. All right. You get to see me in all my scruffiness, Madam Maruta. Do you want to do a reading? Do you want a reading? Just sharing the screen. Oh, you don't have to do that. We were just BSing to just. I was here. I did a one-to-one reading for someone, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just. I haven't been on my urban forest line for a while. Um, so I said, let me just see what's going on. Share screen. Let me see something here. How do we do this? I'm getting used to. Let me see here. Hold on. How do I invite people to join me? Is that a possibility on this? Huh. Alrighty. Please do a reading. All right. I was trying to see if I could invite you to be a guest, but I'm straight on live on YouTube, so I don't know how to do it this when we do it straight on. I only know when we do StreamYard. All right, Miss Maruta, let's see what we got going on for you. We got the King of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's going to be a very slow week for you, huh? And the Five of Pentacles. All righty. All right. So someone's been giving you definitely. Who's been giving you a hard time mentally? Who's been breaking your chops about this? Somebody's been playing a lot of head games, giving you a hard time. Really, really trying to. I see a lot of gaslighting possibly going on there. Someone's really just trying to make you think, like playing games with you and like making you think that what you are believing or saying isn't really real. Um, they're causing you to doubt what you see as the situation, your assessment of the problem, your assessment of the situation, what you think it is. They're causing you to doubt your own self, believe it or not. Um, and does it have to do with money issues? Is someone trying to finagle you financially? And if, I mean, you're smart enough to see um, what's going on with that. So you're definitely going to be, coming out ahead when it comes to this because we all know what this means. But we know things are better when things like this happen. So I'm wondering what's going on there. Let me see. You guys did a reading. Think said you can add one person, but I have no idea how. Okay. Um, Spending a lot of time watching politics, so it could be that about the ice. It definitely can. Could definitely be that. Um, I would just pay attention though. It really feels like somebody. I think it's closer than what we're seeing on TV. I think this is closer to home. So just keep an eye out for the rest of the week about if all of a sudden you feel like, wait a minute, why is this person saying this to me? And why are they? It feels like I'm being gaslighted, and they're making me doubt myself and what I already know to be the truth. Just be mindful of that. I'm gonna pull. I got this new deck from Kaz called the Magic Spell Cards, and they're used. They're not so much used as Oracle. They're used more for spells. But I definitely, when I saw them, I was like, I could totally use these has Oracle cards, um, and totally use them in a way that'll work with a reading. Would you want me to pull a spell card for you? Do you want to be my test subject and see how this goes? Oh, I'm afraid I'm very cynical. So if I see anything sus, yes, right? Exactly. And I know you're shrewd like that. I mean, nobody can play these games with you. I know that's what makes me laugh. Is the microphone loud enough? I'm looking at this thing here. This is that new Yeti mic, and I had it set up, but then my husband moved everything around, so I don't know if. Hey, Cosmic. So, okay, first, answer my question: is this microphone loud enough? Because my husband moved everything around, and I don't. I'm looking at the volume level, and on the volume level, it looks pretty low, but yet, oh no, is it loud enough? Perfect. Okay, Kaz. So, Kaz, I just did a little reading for Maruta, and I was sharing with her. Hi, Fatima. How are you, my love? Blessings. I was telling her about the new deck that you gave me and how I've been wanting to use them as part of the readings. And she has allowed me to pull a card for her also on this. All right. So this, first of all, this deck is I fall in love with it. Like I shared it, I don't think it was meant to be an oracle deck. I think it's more a ritual kind of deck for you to do spells with. Kind of like a what did we used to call those when we were in school and we used to write them notes on those little index cards. It's almost like an index card for spell work, right? Uh, but I could from the very beginning, I was like, this could totally be an oracle deck because not only does it give you that message from spirit, but if the person you're reading for wants to go deeper, you can totally get into the book and give them the full meaning with the full ritual. I mean, if I'm doing it like this, I don't think I would go that far just because that would take too much time. If I was doing it in a private reading, I could totally see that and also offer them the ritual. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Everybody says it's made from stock pictures, which is fine because where regardless, I just love the artwork anyway, and it totally goes with my old style tarot deck. Look at that. You see how they pair up so nicely? They really pair up nicely. What I like, especially about using this deck with it, as opposed to using the old style Oracle deck, is that the old style Oracle deck and the tarot deck, they look so much alike that when you're reading, you're like, wait, am I reading the tarot or am I reading Oracle? And it just blends too much, you know. Um, we're having this both have a vintage style, but they're off, so you can kind of see which is what and what is the kind of it just helps visually when doing the actual reading. Uh, but Maruta, your card that was pulled was peace. Uh, During part of this whole thing, structure is that the creator, Lucy Cav- Cavendish, She uses a lot of different deities from different religions, and you can either use it or you can invoke your own deity that you worship or are devoted to. You don't have to. I feel like I'm not into conformness. I can't. You can't give me something and say you have to do it this way. Then it doesn't work for me. I got to make it fit for me. Um, so a lot of her stuff, even the rituals, some of them are too elaborate. Where it's like 7 silver coins. I don't own 7 silver coins. I don't know anybody who owns 7 silver coins or gold coins. So I think a lot of the stuff you have to kind of make it your own and tweak it for you. And the same thing with when it comes to who do you invoke into this when you do the spell work. You can either use for instance, for peace, she invokes Bridget. God, and the statement is, Goddess, in your sacred name, uh, a light within me, peace is flame, which is really pretty. It's a really nice statement. But see, for me, I don't really know who Bridget is. So to say that Bridget, I don't connect with that. So I don't think spiritually that would work for me. Um, but if, say, somebody followed another saint or another spirit or another, you can even write your own. Exactly, Cos. You could write your own. You can flex it any way you want to. Exactly, Cosmic. That's why I kind of connected with this. Uh, yeah, and there might be a different deity or no deity at all. I don't really follow any direct deity. Everybody knows that. So hey, Selena. So basically, yeah, I'm glad Selena popped out because she just, for instance, so Selena might say, "Oh, I don't want to use Bridget. I just want to use Santa Muerte." So she could totally change this, to invoking blessings from Santa Muerte or the Virgin Mary. Somebody might want to use the Virgin Mary or whoever else, So that's why I kind of like this deck. But Maruta, this is your card that went with your reading. Is in the midst of all this persons who was who if you find this person, anyone who might be coming up trying to play some head games with you, trying to force you to second guess yourself and reevaluate your own assessment of the situation, and kind of real also about what's going on materialistically wise. Just know, you know what, you're smart enough. You can see the bullshit coming a mile away, and just pray for your own inner peace and their own inner peace, and just tell them to step off. Thank you, Madam Maruta. I'm so happy you let me read for you. And does anyone inbox is coming up? Oh, that's a Bridget Day. Look at that. Look at that. See? You know all that, Madam Maruta. You follow all these different sacred rituals and times of years and different deities. So that was really nice. Sometimes the image isn't as much as the message. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, who else wants to would like a reading? We're just hanging out a little bit, a couple of hours. I was telling Maruta that I just did a personal one-on-one reading for someone. And I said, well, since I was already set up, let me just come on my urban channel for a while and see what's going on here. All right, we got you. We got you. Let's do a reading for Selena. Okay. You're ready. So we have the Selena, the Justice card, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Six of Swords. Let me just show you because I just love the artwork on these cards. You know that. Just this. All right. So, Selena, a lot of this stuff you already know for yourself. Let's look at this Justice card. What's going on with that? Almost feeling like if things weren't, things needed to become a little bit more uh, balanced in your life. Not, and I don't mean just emotionally. I'm talking about like materialistically, like and finding some kind of true balance and almost some karmic end. You feel like maybe you might be putting out more than what you're getting back, and it's like, hey, universe, I need something in return. I need something to fulfill me. As much as I'm putting out there, I need to fulfill me. You're doing a lot of hard work, and it seems like now you just need your rewards to start coming in. The Page of Cups, cut in reverse. There's just, right now things are just whatever you're waiting for, whatever new type of uh, it just feels a little stagnant emotionally, intuitively. Like there's a lot going on, but there's so much where there's almost like a little bit of a blockage right there. Okay, it's a little bit of a blockage. You have these new inspirations, these new things that you want to do, but at the same time, it's so immense that it's kind of almost too much to deal with at one time. It's almost like lately this analogy has come up a lot for me. How do you eat an elephant? Right. And this is like, you're right. Right now it feels like, how do I eat this elephant? You know, that's kind of the message I'm getting there. And you're going to be moving from one piece to you are going to be moving forward with this whole thing, eventually, because how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But it is going to take a little bit of time to move that forward. It's not going to happen right away. But it feels right now like it's overbearing. It's overbearing. I'm really kind of stuck on why I like as I'm looking at these three cards, right? My eye keeps going back to this justice card, justice card, justice card. And I'm really wondering like what is happening out there in your Selena world where justice is finally going to come through fruition, but do you even know it almost feels like you don't even know like what's this karmic situation, what is this issue that's going to be resolved. It almost feels like you don't even know because it feels like it's almost something that's been so far gone that all of a sudden when it happens it's going to be like a surprise, like wait a minute, I didn't even know, I forgot all about that. Okay, but whatever that situation is, it is going to get resolved. Whatever that situation was is going to get resolved. You're going to get your justice. That person's going to get their comeuppance. But it's almost something that you have not even thought about. It's like you put it in the back burner, you left it there, you forgot. And now all of a sudden, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. Okay. But whatever it is going to be resolved. And I'm thinking this is why. Could have been because part of the reason why you kind of put it in the back burner, because this could be the big elephant in the room of why it felt so much. But it is going to help you to move further along. It is going to help you to move beyond and through it. Selena, one of the decks that we're pulling is from this spell cards, the magical spell cards. Do you want one? Hopefully, my son. Okay, let me see. Yes, I love this deck too. Right? It's. I told you. I just there's certain. I told you guys there's certain decks that when they hit me, and when they don't, they know. Um, so and now I said I didn't want any more decks, and then Cosmic Orphan. He showed me this one, and I was like, no, I don't want it, I don't want it. And I said no, and then him and Deb, his wife, sent me a gift in the mail of this beautiful deck, and yeah, it was paired up with this other deck. Okay, magical powers. I weave and clear. I weave and clear. I cast and know. Magic secrets to me now show. Hmm. That beautiful. Wow. Um, and Selena, if you want offline later, I can read to you. These, like I said, these weren't really designed to be Oracle decks. They were designed to be kind of like cheat sheet spell cards. So there's a lot more in the book. There's ritual that you could do with it. And it goes in depth. As a matter of fact, I actually used the healing card today. My husband uh, allowed me to do the healing ritual for his back. So we actually used the healing card, and we engraved the candle, and we put the herbs around it, and we lit it, and we said the enchantment for it. So we did ritual for his back using this deck today. But I could do that. Yes, beautiful card, right? Ooh. All right, Fatima, are you ready, Fatima? And I see John has signed up. How did I find this live chat? Yes. Don't hurt me. Yeah, you the sub. Yeah, don't worry about this channel, John. This is kind of my side gig here. This is maybe when I retire, I'll put more energy and time into this channel. All right, Fatima. Huh. Okay, so Fatima, we have the Ace of Cups, and I'm showing just because I love showing off this deck in reverse. The Page of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. It's almost like it's very interesting. So we have like the Ace of Cups, right? Which is usually, even though it's in a reverse, it's like usually hints towards new beginnings, something new, right? And the pages also kind of give us something like, hey, we're going to start something new, right? But then we have the Wheel of Fortune. But the Ace of Cups reverse, the pages going forward, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's almost like there was a stagnation of things not moving forward for a while. Emotionally, like you're kind of been stuck in a rut, kind of feeling like a little despair, maybe a little depression. And part of you is wants to start moving towards something new, something more creative, something more exciting. You're just very true. Yes, stuck, right? Um, so you've been caught between like, I want to do something different, but yet I also don't have the energy. That's the other thing, right? Having that energy to get out of the stuckness. because sometimes we want it mentally, but we just don't have it. And it's almost like this Wheel of Fortune, even though it came out third place, really should be in the middle because it really, in my world, the way I read this and the way I'm seeing this, I'm going to see if I could show you. It's like almost like you got, let me see if I could show you. It's like this is where you were. Hold on. Sorry. This is where you were. Then it comes a change because you want to be here. You're getting my thought flow. So you see. So this is kind of like where you're feeling that little bit of a depression. You're feeling a little like you're stuck, like this. A lack of passion, just kind of like blah. You got the blah, but yet there's that other part of you that wants to force yourself to like, no, I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this mood. I want to be able to feel myself again, because normally you're a very inspirational, peppy kind of person. You're the kind of person that really can help people, like support people in doing some creative things and doing things. And you yourself can be a very creative person. So you're kind of caught in between those two worlds. And that's where the Wheel of Fortune comes in, because the Wheel of Fortune is like, okay, we get it. This is where you are. This is where you want to be. And it's going to happen. So get ready, because it is going to happen. All right. And I'm saying that because it came up this way, not this way. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. I don't know. Hope it makes sense in your mind. Do you want a spell card? Okay, all right, great. All right, yes, good. I'm asking about the spell cards just because they are spells, and some people might feel like icky about it. And because this is something new, I'm trying out. I love it. It's been a Gypsy Day. Mm-hmm. All right. Wow. Okay. See, this was meant. The card that came out for you was creativity. By all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. And wasn't that what we were just talking about? All right. So kind of we were just talking about that, feeling stuck but wanting to be somewhere else, right? Exactly. So, say this mantra to yourself. I kind of, go back, freeze it, screenshot it, um, and kind of use as your little mantra until you get through all these. These, I'm telling you, I've watched reviews on this deck, and a lot of people, they were like blah 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 about the stock cards pictures, that they thought, oh, it should be better. But you know what? I'm loving these pictures. I think these pictures for me are working very, very well. Even though they might be stock card, or whatever they call that, stock photos, whatever, I think it worked out well. All right, let's see what else we got. Hey, John. Hey, Sherry. The only thing, what I don't like about doing all this is I only hear my voice, and it makes me feel weird only hearing my voice. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. All right, who else? Who are we going to go? Did I lose Cosmic? Did he leave me? Oh, man, I think Cosmic left me. All right, well, at least he knows I'm using his deck. Oh, please, Fatima, for you, anytime. If I'm ever on, you always get. Oh, okay, there he is. All right, good. Yeah, Kaz, I need you to stay on because I'm using this deck, and I'm kind of sharing my thoughts about it with you at the same time. The back of the cards, there's different images on the back of the cards, and I've watched a couple of flip throughs, but nobody seems to have an answer as to why. So, if Cosmic, if you find out why, that I'd love to know. I think I love these books. I'm telling you, I'm very, very picky. For those of you who know me, I am very, very picky um, about decks. So when I really, really fall for one, you hear me ramble on about it. Um, it is weird only hearing your voice. Exactly, Selena, my sister, my little goddaughter, who I appreciate you taking the time because she's crazy busy doing all 5 million things. And Selena just came back from Gettysburg, where she took some amazing photos for an Oracle deck that she's creating. Um, I was lucky; she shared a couple with me, and the sample that I saw, it's definitely going to be a must have deck. So when she publishes it, I have it because just a couple of the photos that she did, she actually took the photos and then the words that she put with them. I Yeah, it's a great. It's going to be a beautiful deck. All right. So we did Selena. Sherry, did you want a reading? John, did you want a reading? Cosmic never asks for readings, so I don't know if Cosmic wants a reading or not. But if you do, Cosmic, you know I'd love to give you a reading. What do I need to work on this week? Yes. See? Cosmic doesn't do readings. I know he doesn't. That's right. What do I need to work on this week? Oh, interesting. Alrighty. All right, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Temperance, and the King of Wands in reverse. And it seems like you've answered your own question, Sherry, in that you already know that this week it's all about you really sitting back and taking stock of what's going on in your life and all your projects. You have a lot of projects going on, with not only in your personal life, but it's in your work life. And it's all about finding a balance and what's the statement? Work life balance. Is that what all the kids are saying these days? Trying to find a work life balance job. Um, you know, you have the King of Wands in reverse, which is meaning because what's happening is because you are overstretching yourself, you're starting to deplete yourself. Okay. Because I see this King of Wands in reverse as you, and it's almost like you're putting too much into you're just putting too much out there. Yeah, trying to reprioritize everything. Exactly. Because you had too much of an expectation of getting too much done and working and having your hands in too many pots, you are literally depleting yourself. And something that I always go to, people was like, "Oh, don't do health readings." I'm not doing a medical health reading. However, you'll always hear me when I do a reading. Whenever Temperance card comes up in a reading, I always tell for me, I always tell people that's always a sign to have a medical checkup. For me, I always say, and I'm not giving medical advice, I'm just saying this is universe saying, because it's almost for me, Temperance is always reminding me, you know how we have all our bloods and our urines and our all kind of chemicals in our bodies, and if we don't get them checked out and regulated, it could really knock us off in a bad way. So to me, whenever I see that temperance card, it's like, hey, when was the last time you had a checkup? It might be a good time to go see a doctor. It doesn't hurt, Make sure. It's kind of like when every so often you have to lift the hood off your car and check your oil, your antifreeze, and everything else, right? Well, we have to do that with our bodies. So whenever I see temperance card, it's yes, it is about maintaining a balance, right? Spirituality and everything else in life, um, and keeping one foot on the ground and one foot in the universe, in that duality process, but it's also about physically. It's always for me when I see it, it's you might want to consider getting a medical checkup and just making sure everything is fine there. Let me see where we're at. Oh yeah, trying to reprioritize. Yep, lurk. Right. I have a lurk life balance. And then we're all just meshing all over the place. Yes, we are. So, and Cosmic, he's cheerleading for everybody. Uh, Fatima, are you leaving us? She says, everyone. Yes. Or is she just making sure that we're all staying safe? Yes, I just had to yank his chain. Okay. Don't let Deb find out you yanking causes chains, Sherry. Don't let Deb. Uh, okay, you got several doctor's appointments coming up for the next few weeks. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Sherry, did you want one of the new magical spell cards pulled? Sure. I'm excited. I'm really happy I came on today, and I'm glad you guys came on and you're letting me use this deck because I'm telling you, I've been really excited about it. You know? And I think I haven't done my monthly elemental readings on this channel since October. I just you all know I just haven't had the energy and to do it, but I definitely think that when I do go back, I will continue to do my 5 card placement spread because I love that spread for the monthlies. But I think the last card where I normally pull from the Moonology deck, which I still love that, and it's actually sitting right next to me. I usually pull this coming in to that reading, then I do the tarot cards, and then I usually end with another Moonology. But I think what I might do is pull one Moonology coming into that reading, do the tarot, and then end with the message from Spirit using the magical spell card. All right, what magical spell message do you have for Sherry? All right, Sherry, we have wisdom. On a Wednesday with a waxing moon, let wisdom come and be renewed. Wisdom. So there's a lot more to this in the book. However, using this as an oracle card, this is a and it's an owl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think based on the reading, and how it all connects is that now that you are reprioritizing everything is um, you've come to a point in your life where let me see how I can kind of conceptualize all this. Whenever we start something, right, we start by gathering information and we get knowledge. information and knowledge does not necessarily equate wisdom or experience. That comes to experience. And I think you've come to a point where running all these projects and businesses that you have, you've been going on for a couple of years now. You not only have the education and the knowledge, but now you have the experience where you've gained wisdom. Okay. So now that you are now coming to a point of reevaluating everything and reprioritizing, you're gonna be able to do that from a wisdom perspective and not just from an intellectual perspective. Okay. You're able to sit back. Um, and the reason why I say this is because someone who doesn't have wisdom, when they need to prioritize a list, everything is important. No, but I still want to do that. No, I want to do that. No, and they're afraid. They're afraid to be flexible. They're afraid to move things around. For someone without the experience, without the understanding, everything feels important. That nothing is important. Then. But when someone has years of experience, they know, no, no, yeah, it's all important, but I also know what I need to do first, what I need to do here because this eventually is going to help me with that, and this I can put away for the time being. Just because I'm going to put it away doesn't mean that it's going to be forgotten. So that takes wisdom to be able to make those kind of assessments and choices and reevaluations in your life. That comes with experience and maturity and wisdom. Okay. So look towards that. Look towards your inner voice. Look towards your connection with source, okay, and with your higher power and your spirits, and let them guide you in that. Because that's also something that's not done cerebrally. It's not just done with your brain. That's done with your soul. That is something that you do through your soul in making those kind of choices. All right. It does make sense. All right. Good. Good. All right. Anyone else? It's almost going on an hour. I came on here just as a little fluke, and you guys made me so happy that y'all spend so much time with me. Um, is John still here? John, did you? I never got to give a reading to John. John, do you want a reading? No, thank you, my dear, for letting me read for you. Because him. I'm actually waiting for the day when Cosmic will do a reading for me. People don't know Cosmic is a very strong reader. He does a lot of high magic stuff and brilliant. And but his readings are long. They do. All right, John, are you still in the room? Do you want a reading before we go? Wow, it's 5:30 already. Okay. All right then. All right. So then no one else. So I guess we'll just cut it here. I appreciate you guys letting me stretch my psychic muscles. It's been a while since I've been able to actually do readings. Most of the times whenever I've had to come on, I've been through for chit chatting. See, he's been working on rituals. I'll leave, and I miss I miss readings. I really do. I miss readings. I miss the summertime when I can go to the park. The whole reason why this channel got called Urban Forest was because I used to go to the park, and there's cement tables where people play chess on them. But I would go and I'd go sit there and I would do free readings in the park for people. People first were like skeptical because they thought I was conning them and going to ask for money. I was like, no, it's 100% free. And so that's kind of why I named this Urban Forest, because I was sitting in my own little forest in the middle of the city doing readings. And I kind of missed that. I got sick right after that, so I couldn't do it as much. I couldn't be outside in that heat in the summer, and I didn't have the energy. But hopefully as I get stronger, I'll be able to go back out into the parks and do free readings for people. John is multitasking. Of course he is. What? What were John, do you want a reading? Fatima says you're multitasking, but do you want a reading while you're multitasking? All right. Okay, he said. All righty. Where am I at? Maybe. Okay. All right. John, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. And the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so it's funny because you're asking where you're at. It seems like you're in a certain situation where you're kind of over it. Okay, you feel that it no longer serves you, but yet you're not able to move on yet. It's something that's still keeping you stuck in that moment, right? You're not ready to move. You're not ready to let go. There's still, you know it's not serving you. You're still not ready to go. There's a Six of Pentacles in reverse. It could just possibly mean that the whole reason why you can't move forward with that, or why you're stuck in that situation, is around the money or the resources that you need to be able to move into that to move forward. You just don't have it yet. Okay, you don't have the resources that you need, the physical, concrete resources to move to the next thing yet. So the Knight of Pentacles is, well, it's kind of leaving you in a state of being extremely frustrated and restless. Okay, you're it's creating agita. I don't know if you know that word. It's creating agita for you because it's like you want to be able to kind of move forward. You want to kind of move to the next level. You want to make those changes, but because you don't have what you basically need, it's just creating some anxiety for you and some frustrations for you, because you really, really are over it. You're over it. So that's when you ask me where you are, that's where you are right now. Should we pull a card to see, well, is there any insight as to what you might possibly need to get to that next level? Let's take a look. I'm going to pull a spell card. What message does John need so that he knows what he needs to do to move to the next part of this situation? Inspiration. Isis, goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. All right. Yes, let's go. Yeah. Right. So it could be, so maybe perhaps, I don't know what your situation is, but it almost has the sense of almost, the best way I could describe it is, when somebody has writer's block, and they could sit, they're so talented and they have such skill and they're really good and they've done it before and they've been successful, but now they sit down to do it again and it's almost like they get writer's block. They just can't get their thoughts down on paper. Okay. And it feels almost like that. And what's lacking is what you need to move on to is to somehow get that inspiration going again. So if you are connected to a source, if you're connected to the universe, whatever your spiritual belief system is, this is a time where you might need to go outside of you, go outside of yourself, and ask the your higher power of your belief to inspire you, to give you the gifts that you need, that spark to reignite that passion of yours that will help you to kind of get out of this rut, break through this writer's block, to be able to leave this whatever situation you're in that no longer serves you. Okay. So if you want to really get into the spiritual aspects of it, this is a time where it's like, you said to me, where am I at? And I wanted to say to you, you already know where you're at, right? Even before I pull the cards, you already know where you're at. But the other question is, okay, you know where you're at, but how do you get through it? How do you get to the other side? And it sounds like what needs to happen is that there needs to be that connection with source, with something greater than yourself. Okay. Reconnect with that source. Let that re-energize you, light your spark, whatever your spirituality is, whatever rituals you do, focus on that, get that going, and reconnect with something higher than you. Okay. And I think that's been the missing piece lately. It's you haven't been connected with your higher power. All right. I hope does that help, John? First time I got to read for you. Fatima says, I agree. Thank you, Fatima. Fatima, I think she just ran over to him and slapped him in the head, said, listen to Urban. Yeah, right. Thank you for slapping him on the head. Um, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for giving me the honor to do this today. I really enjoyed it. I think I needed it more than you guys did. I haven't had a chance to do this in a long time. It really felt good to stretch my psychic muscles again. I thank you all for being so supportive of me and being kind and generous. And again, thank you for everyone who's just been there for me and everybody who's been sending me these beautiful decks and helping me to grow and allowing me to test drive them on you. Um, and I probably won't do this for everybody, but I'll do it for you guys since you are my quote unquote test subjects. If I pulled a spell card for you and you want more information on that card, email me or most of you are on Facebook anyway, message me which card it was. And I'll try to copy and paste some of the stuff, or I might have to actually, I have to retype it, but I'll try to do a screenshot of the book pages so you could see what they have and what the magical pieces. I don't have the book here because it's in my backpack because I've been bringing it to work, reading it on the way. But I can share that with you because it is truly, truly an amazing module. It's not a system because it's not really a system. It's like it's almost like a recipe. You know how you have a box of recipes? Remember, like the old-fashioned box of recipes, and you go through it and pull out the index card, and it would have it. That's kind of how it's designed, basically. Like each card is basically its own recipe. And in the book, it just gives you more of the instructions, like, heat your oven to 350, add butter, turn twice, whatever. So in the book, it tells you a little bit more. But once you look at what the author put together, I think you could very much stylize it to your own needs and your own spirituality and your own rituals. You all know I'm a firm believer in folk magic, and folk magic, it's basically use what's available. Like I said, there was one thing in there, and I think it asked for like 7 pieces of silver and 10 pieces of gold, and I was like, I don't know who owns 7 silver pieces or 10 gold coins. I don't. Um, so to me, yeah, Betty Crocker Oracle, yeah, Kaz, exactly. It's what it's like. Uh, so I think basically you just take the essence of it and you customize it to your own witchery practice. Uh, you know, and like I said, some people might follow different pantheons, and some people might say, no, I only follow, this goddess or this god or this spirituality, and you could totally, switch these up to fit your religious practices. Okay. But yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again. I appreciate you all. Love you. And I'm going to head out and go have some dinner. Uh, I'll see you all in chat later. All right. Bye. Optional. Bye. Now, how do I turn this off? Does anybody know how do we turn this off? I got to get used to this whole end stream. There we go.